Bayombon High School is a newly established high school in Masbate City, born out of the need of Barangay Bayombon, Barangay Mapinya, and Barangay Biyong for a nearer high school that will continue the aspiration of elementary pupils for higher learning. Through the efforts and initiative of the late Barangay Chairman Honorable Fred V. Narsa and Mr. Rene Tumlod, former principal of Bayombon Elementary School, with the support of the former City Mayor Honorable Socrates M. Tuazon, a two-room building was initially constructed amounting to 1.5 million pesos. The school was formally opened last June 2009 with 2 LGU paid teachers and 2 classes of first-year students. After 3 months of operation, a teacher in charge was assigned in the person of Mrs. Marian C. Esber. Her assignment as school in charge was up to June 30, 2010, when she sought transfer of employment to the provincial capital as Provincial Information Officer. From July 1, 2010 up to September 20, 2010, Mr. Jesse N. Aguilar, a currently designated teacher in charge of Bayombon Elementary School, took charge of the school until a then designated school head was assigned during the 21st of September 2010 in the person of Mr. Oscar Espinote of Masbate National Comprehensive High School. After his leadership in 2015 up to April 2018, Madam Noreen E. Abiner was assigned as the new school head. At present, there are 17 teachers teaching 461 students, 16 of which are permanent teachers and 1 provisional, 7 non-teaching staff, including the school head, Mr. Abonjo A. de la Peña, 1 administrative assistant 2, and 5 LGU paid staff. Bayombon High School is situated just a few meters away from Bayombon Elementary School, and both schools are accessible to the residents of Barangay Bayombon, located near the National Highway going to the municipalities of Baleno and Aroroy. Bayombon is about 19 kilometers away from the city proper. Though considered as one of the farthest barangay, it can be reached by buses, tricycles, and the so-called habal-habal. Almost 95% of the residents in the barangay are farmers, though there are also some engaged themselves in sari-sari store. They are peace-loving people, hardworking, thrifty, and industrious, living in a simple and frugal life. Most houses are made of coco lumber, bamboo, and anahaw. Only few have concrete houses. Their dwellings have spread out sporadically, with exemption to those living in the barangay proper. The chief food of the people is rice and fish. The barangay, including the school site, has a rugged surface, hilly and mountainous. Yet it turns productive because of the towering coconut trees. Only those areas along the river banks are said to be plain and fertile. The barangay population at present is about 3,000. It has a land area of 800,320 hectares. 90% of those are agricultural lands. The barangay is an agricultural community. The main occupation of the residents is farming. Copra, rice, and corn are the principal products. Some of the residents venture to small-scale gold panning in unisolated areas and nearby barangays.
Friends, the program will start in a few minutes. Let us observe silence. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The years of strenuous efforts and undying dedication towards education have the deserved reward in the graduation of our dear students.
With the objective of giving the relevance this fact deserves for the school and recognizing the dedication of the graduates and their families, the school organizes a graduation rites and moving up ceremony.
As it is a joyful and triumphant event, may we allow our graduates to rejoice as their educational journey in this institution comes to conclusion, so as to the commencement of another journey of man towards achieving a better life and future.
Everyone, welcome to the 7th graduation and 6th moving up virtual rites and ceremonies of Bayombon High School with the theme Strengthening the Quality of Education Amid the COVID-19 Pandemic.
Before we proceed to the presentation of school teaching and non-teaching personnel and DepEd officials,
let us have the messages coming from our Department of Education Secretary, Madam Leonor M. Briones, our Regional Director, Sir Gilbert T. Sadsad, our OIC Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Arvin Arcese, and the Barangay Chairman of Bayombon, Mr. Ryan M. Corcuera.
Good day to each and everyone who is attending virtually present at this time of our graduation ceremonies for our beloved and very precious graduates for the school year which ends at this time. First of all, I'd like to greet the parents and family members without whose sacrifices, whose reminders, and whose participation in the learning process for our graduates have resulted in this culmination program. This year, your role has changed drastically, where we've always thought, we've always believed that the matter of educating our children rests nearly exclusively on our teachers and our staff. This time, you parents, you family members, you who are in the households of our learners have expanded your role and contributed to this wonderful day, wherein finally, our learners are graduating in this culmination exercise. So congratulations, because this year has not been very easy, has not been a picnic for our teachers, for our family members, as well, especially the parents, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and all who have contributed to the achievement of our learners at this time. So, maraming salamat at congratulations, parents and family members. Mas malaki ang role ninyo at this time compared to earlier graduation exercises. Secondly, I would also like to greet our teachers, without whose very careful review and careful supervision of the work of our pupils and our learners, this event would not be taking place at all. And so thank you, teachers. Your role has also expanded, in addition to seeing to it that the modules are faithfully followed, the assignments are correctly implemented, and the learners are truly learning. And you have had to deal with new ways of assessing the performance also of the learners. So congratulations, teachers, for enduring, for your patience, for your love for our learners, and your willingness to engage in a way and methods of teaching which are different from those which are used to. Assessment must have been especially difficult for you, especially since you were not able to see most of the time our students in face-to-face meetings, and most of the meetings, of course, were virtual. We'd also like to thank the local government units for their interest, for their cooperation, and for their continuing contributions to the needs of education, even as our children do not go to school. Your donations of material as well as financial resources at this time are most welcome, and your advice has been taken seriously not only by our teachers, by our school officials, but also by our officials in the Department of Education. We continually talk with local government units, especially in times of disaster, in times of great need for classrooms, for space, and for responses to unforeseen emergencies. Thank you, local government units. But of course, most of the congratulatory greetings fall on the deserving graduate. Each and every one of you is truly special. You are different from the other graduates who have passed through the portals of your school. You went to school practically without seeing your teachers, if at all. You went to school with your parents, your mothers, and your fathers hovering over your shoulders and seeing to it that you are able to complete your assignments. You are completing your studies at a time when examinations and assessments are different. You are culminating these long months of hard work at this time, even as you have to do family chores, even as you are distracted, and even as your world has turned upside down, and it seems and it appears as if we don't know what the future holds and what will happen next. But you have persevered, and now you are ready to graduate. And therefore, you deserve each and every bit of congratulations from us in the Department of Education, from your parents and family members, your teachers, from the officials in local government, as well as in the parent teachers associations. You deserve each and every single congratulatory pat on your back, each hug virtually, of course, and each greeting, which I am sure you are also receiving virtually. I don't know if you will remember this event many years from now. I have tried to recall myself who our graduation speaker was when I finished high school and when I finished my college studies. All I remember is that the graduation speaker was someone important, someone who was invited because that someone is supposed to give a message. What was more important to us graduates at that time was the excitement of the celebrations, the happiness and the joy of our parents, the sadness of parting from our classmates and from our teachers, and the enjoyment of all the graduation events that usually take place come commencement day. When I was a college student, we had a series of events which were designed to embed in our minds, which were designed to help us remember and not forget our days in college. We would spend one whole day going around the campus, visiting the classrooms, saying goodbye to our teachers, and sharing memories. We would have bonfires to say goodbye to each other. We had baccalaureate services where we committed ourselves to God and we prayed for guidance when we go out into the world. So many celebrations, and the speaker, of course, is the least important and easily forgotten component of the graduation exercise. Nonetheless, I will exert all efforts to share with you what I see are things or issues which a graduate should remember and recall. I have said that you are very special. You are very different. You are pioneering. There has been no other class like your class. There has been no other graduate like you as a graduating student because you are the very first graduate of the blended learning response to education in the Philippines. And so you ask yourself, what awaits you in the world outside? You can either work because the kind of curriculum you survived and underwent as a student will enable you to go to work if you wish to go to work. Some of you will proceed to further studies, and this would be a wonderful thing because there are many opportunities for further expanding your knowledge, for further answering and looking for explanations of issues, events that make you curious, especially in science, in technology, and also in the arts. So you can work, you can go to further studies, and perhaps some of you will settle down, hopefully not too soon, so you can pursue what you really want to do. So today, this is why we call this exercise a commencement exercise. It's not the end of our studies. It's not the end of all our efforts with blended learning, with modules, with floods, with earthquakes, and of course with COVID. It's a commencement of doors opening to you. More doors will be opened because you are a graduate. You can work, you can proceed for further studies, you can help your parents, and you can perhaps look for opportunities to do what you have always wanted to do, whether at work, whether at advanced studies, whether at learning more in science and technology, in mathematics, and in the arts. All of these opportunities are available to you. More doors are being opened. I hope you will select the door which arouses your curiosity, the door which will help you know more about this world, and the door which will allow you to contribute to the development of our country and contribute whatever we can to solve our problems and our challenges. Congratulations once more to each and every one of you. Congratulations to you, parents and family members. Congratulations to you, teachers. When I was chair of the board of Silliman University, each time we had graduation ceremonies during the baccalaureate and during commencement itself, I would cry. I would cry because you are sending out into the world a new batch of graduates, and we want to be sure that what is awaiting them is appropriate. We want to be sure that they are ready for what awaits them when they select which door to open. And so, we tell you, go out to the world, do whatever you want to do. God be with you, and be assured that all of us love each and every one of you. Congratulations.
My respect to our very brilliant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Fatima D. Buen, to the two chiefs of the two functional divisions, the Chief of the Curriculum Implementation Division, Sir Noel D. Logroño, to the Chief of the Schools Governance and Operations Division, Sir Renato L. Rubio, to our dynamic education program supervisors and the public schools district supervisors, to the school heads of the public elementary and secondary schools, dear parents, graduates, good day. The end of the school year always brings us to the nostalgia of all the things we have done in the past 204 days. Why 204 days? Because this is the required number of school days in this school year. This applies not only to teachers, faculty members, and parents of your school, but more so to the learners who have been the academic warriors of this generation. But in its truest essence, graduation, moving up, and commencement exercises are done not for us to say goodbye, but to welcome a new hello to the life one will be living in the future. Dearest graduates and parents, we are all faced with a global pandemic that challenges our holistic approach in terms of sustaining the activities in this academic year. I know that you are now feeling mixed emotions because you are in the stage of your lives where it is hard to let go of the people you have grown with and became attached in your elementary and high school life despite this health crisis we are fighting. Yet, please be reminded that though we find it hard to bid each other farewell, remember that this is not the end of the road, but just a little diversion that will lead us back together to each other's path soon. This year's theme, kalidad ng edukasyon, lalong patatagin sa gitna ng pandemya, or strengthening quality education amid COVID-19 pandemic, entails a very interesting message for all of us. We are reminded that public and private elementary and secondary schools mold each learner in order to reach the fullness of the education system's vision and mission of producing competent students equipped with life-based capabilities despite the worldwide health crisis we are faced with. I know that you have spent the full 10 months of your lives as pupils or students who started off with a lot of concerns and doubts in mind brought about by the new modalities in the education system, but eventually learned to adapt to the changes demanded by time and circumstances needed for you to be life-ready and responsible members of the community. The teaching and non-teaching staff as well as the Masbate City Division personnel have always been your comrade in your educational battle. We are the silent support that steadily blow the wind beneath your wings in order for you to soar high and reach your full potentials. And as years go by, we will still be here to continuously be a sustenance to every Masbateño's scholastic needs, and no COVID-19 or any health pandemic can ever take that away from you. As you leave the corners of your school, please keep in your hearts the love and passion you have acquired in order to bring honor and pride to your alma mater. Never forget the place that nourished your intellectual and emotional growth. Always be thankful to your teachers, the management committee, and of course, the unsung heroes of your lives, your parents. Class of 2021, you are a special class. You have just won the battle and have shown great fortitude, resilience, and perseverance. Dream new dreams. Embark on who you are. Embrace life with passion and keep reaching for the stars. Shine on and go for it. With this, I leave you with a quote I want you to ponder as you go on with life. Failure is not the opposite of success. Rather, it is part of it. May the Lord guide you always in your daily way in order for you to become productive and significant members of the citizenry. Thank you very much, and to God be all the glory.
Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Ganon din, magandang araw sa lahat ng mga guro sa paaralang ito, Bayombon High School. Sa pamumuno ng ating napakasipag na prinsipal, walang iba, Ginoong Abondio de la Piña. Ganon din sa mga working staff, mga mag-aaral, mga magulang, at lalong-lalo na sa lahat ng mga magsisipagtapos sa araw na ito. Una sa lahat, ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyo at ako ay naging bahagi ng programang ito. Isang karangalan sa akin na makapagbigay ng munting mensahe sa araw ng pagtatapos ng mga mag-aaral dito sa Bayombon High School. Ako po ay natuwa at naging masaya nang malaman ko na may graduation na gaganapin dito sa Bayombon High School. Bakit? Kasi po, hindi lingid sa kaalaman ng lahat na tayo ngayon ay dumaranas ng matinding pagsubok. Lalong-lalo na itong mga magsisipagtapos sa araw na ito. Meron po tayong inaharap na pandemic, itong COVID-19. Ngunit sa kabila ng pagsubok na ito, kinakaya nating lahat na harapin at magkunwaring normal lang ang lahat. At ito ay isang paraan para kahit papaano ay maibsan o mapanatag ang damdamin o loob ng bawat isa. Ngunit, samantala kung ating iisipin, lubhang napakahirap ng ating kalagayan sa ngayon. Hindi ka makapagtrabaho ng normal, hindi ka rin makakilos ng malaya dahil napakarami ng mga ipinagbabawal. Mga health and safety protocols na ginawa ng IATF. At dahil sa ang taong ito ay isa sa pinaka-challenging sa ating lahat, sa mga guro, lalong-lalo na sa mga mag-aaral, at sa mga magsisipagtapos sa araw na ito. Kailangan nating harapin ang pagsubok na ito at ipagpatuloy ang ating mga naumpisahan upang makamit natin ang ating mga pangarap. Huwag tayong tumigil, huwag tayong huminto o magpasindak sa anumang mga balakin na humaharang sa atin. Kahit na alam natin na ang kalaban natin sa ngayon ay hindi natin nakikita, ang COVID-19 na ito. Lagi natin iisipin ang ating pamilya. Ang kahirapan naman sa buhay ay hindi natin alintana yan. Dahil alam ko Lahat tayo dito sa Bayombon ay sanay na dyan. Bagkus isipin natin kung paano tayo magtagumpay at umasinso sa buhay. Lagi tayong manalangin sa ating Panginoon. Panginoon, na tayo ay tulungan na bigyan ng sapat na kaalaman at makagawa ng tama upang makamit natin ang ating mga pangarap. At sa ngayon, sa pagdating ng araw ng inyong pagtatapos, sa haba ng eksperyensya at dami ng mga paghihirap, upang magkaroon lamang ng sapat na kaalaman at linangin ang sarili, ako ay taus-pusong bumabati sa inyo ng congratulations and good luck sa susunod ninyong hakbang sa edukasyon sa kolehiyo. Muli, salamat at magandang buhay sa ating lahat.
Thank you so much, Madam and Sirs. To our City Mayor, Honorable Rowena R. Tuazon, our City Vice Mayor, Honorable Ruby Sanchez Morano,
To our OIC Schools Division Superintendent of the City Schools Division of Masbate, Madam Fatima D. Buen, CESO 6. Our OIC Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Arvin R. Sese.
to our Curriculum Implementation Division Chief, Sir Noel B. Logroño, our School Governance and Operations Division Chief, Sir Renato L. Rubio,
To our Education Program Supervisors, Public Schools District Supervisors, as well as to our Senior Education Program Specialists. Our Barangay Chairman of Bayombon, Honorable Ryan M. Corcuera.
to our very own school head of Bayombon High School, Sir Abonjo A. de la Peña, to the school teaching and non-teaching staff, parents, completers, and graduates.
With so much cheer, let us all welcome the students with honors, completers, and graduates of Bayombon High School in the school year 2020 to 2021. Presenting the completers for the school year 2020 to 2021.
Presenting the Grade 10 Athena.
presenting the Grade 10 Zeus.
program, please stand at the attention for the Philippine National Anthem.
Please remain at your stands for the prayer.
It will be followed by the singing of the Masbate City Hymn and City Division Hymn.
Call on God. Kung ang Diyos nagapromesa ka kinatuman na niya promesa, this time, call on God. Like the leper in the gospel. Pareho sa may leproso sa Ebanghelyo, call on Jesus. Call on Him. At kung gustuhan mo makatapos ako, makatapos ako. Makatapos ako. Saan ako nag-eskwela? Gusto ko ini Ginoo. Gusto ko ini. Pero kung naman yung pagbuot mo, thy will be done. Matuman ang pagbuot mo. No? Matuman ang pagbuot mo. Very simple prayer. And do it one day at a time. One day at a time. When I was a student like you, hindi po kami mayaman, pobre man kami, anam ako drivers ang pampasahero. No? Aniloy ko sa to jobless, later na lang na nagtrabaho ng tukdok. But you know what? With a prayer, thy will be done. It happened. It happened. Kaya ini na yung moving up, ini na yung graduation, lugod amon makaduson sa iyo. Hangadon ta, ang mahal na, kag magtawag kita sa iya, pareho sa may leproso, clinging on His word, that all His promises are being fulfilled. Are being fulfilled. If God did it through Jesus, so said the leper, so said na may leproso, He can do it to us too. Sa lipot na momento sa pagsilensyo, aton ayun sa Diyos ang aton mga pagkinahanglan kag aton ni panganji. Plakpakan nato ng graduates kag sa moving up, no? Thank you so much.
Masbate in my mind, part of the Philippine Isles, for the love of our land and our soil, bloom the flowers of our charm and toil, protect the wildlife, the seas and trees, spring of hope, flowing rivers let inspire, for our children, for tomorrow, leading to a beautiful dawn. Masbate by the bay, seat of hearts and work and pray, loving deeply, living simply, one for peace and harmony. So proud, stand a winner, by your sweat bless our Redeemer. Masbate City, 'tis your duty, all the way to Masbate to the fore, harbor of balance galore, giving a pace with tech and time, for healthy life and rhyme. Sun is high, let our dreams come true, in unity we achieve with all our might, smiling people, nature lovers, marching, flinching and strong. your sweat, bless, O Redeemer. Masbate City, 'tis our duty, all the way to give you glory. Masbate City, a pride and joy, seat of devotion, poetry in motion, between the city of hearts. Younger youth's education in tight road, challenges in all situations, too hard to grow. But with teachers in motion, everything is set in place. With a smart head's devotion, everyone's gladdened to raise. See the division of Masbate, on top you always want to be. In sports and any competition, victory no longer an option. Onward we go with our vision, and as our next our dedication, so our youth will see the glory that God destined them to be. See the division of Masbate, on top you always want to be. In sports and any competition, victory no longer an option. Onward we go with our vision, and as our next our dedication, so our youth will see the glory that God destined them to be. So our youth will see the glory that God destined them to be.
You may now be seated on your seats.
To formally welcome us all, may we call in one of our candidates for graduation, Miss Giselle M. Francisco. May we give her a virtual applause. To our Officer in Charge Schools Division Superintendent Ma'am Fatima De Buen, to our Officer in Charge Assistant Schools Division Superintendent Sir Arben Arcese, to our Curriculum Implementation Division Chief Sir Noel De Logroño, to our School Governance and Operations Division Chief Sir Renato El Robio, to our Education Program Supervisor and at the same time, the Public Schools District Supervisor of District 9, Ma'am Francie R. Baldemoro, to our Barangay Chairman Honorable Ryan M. Corcuera, to our School Head Sir Abundio A. De La Peña, to the Bayombon High School teaching and non-teaching staff, to the proud parents, and especially to the completers and graduates, a pleasant afternoon to all of you. Education plays a vital role in every student's life. It is the window to our future. A lot of things can be stolen in our life, but never our education. The year 2020-2021 has been one of our most challenging years in our lives. We had faced and are continuing to face an unseen enemy that almost affected our education. It almost affected our opportunity for knowledge and development. But it did not stop us from having the education that we deserve. The most significant event in a student's life is none other than graduation. It implies that we did it, that we overcome the obstacle and challenges alongside are the experiences and beautiful memories. We will live this chapter in our lives with a smile on our face, despite of everything. We've chosen to value our life and the opportunity given to us. And so, our dear parents, honored guests, on behalf of the completers of the graduating class, it is my pleasure to welcome you to witness this year's graduation ceremony. Very soon, we shall march on this very stage on one by one to receive the fruit of our labor. Completers and fellow graduates, I wish you all good luck. For the coming years of our lives,
May God and His wisdom bless us with success. Thank you very much, and once again, welcome and good afternoon.
Thank you, Giselle, for that warm welcome to our viewers.
To present to us the candidates for completion and graduation, let us all have Sir Abondo A. de la Peña. May we give Sir Abondo a virtual applause.
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. For this school year, 2020, we have 33 male and 36 female, or a total of 69 grade 10 students as candidate for completion in the junior high school, and 13 male and 25 female, or a total of 38 grade 10 students as candidate for graduation in the senior high school. They fulfilled of the prescribed requirements under the K-12 curriculum as mandated in the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan implemented. Madam, they are ready for your confirmation.
Thank you so much, sir, for presenting to us the candidates for completion and graduation.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness virtually the main highlight of today's event. To do the honors for the confirmation message, let us all welcome our very active OIC Schools Division Superintendent, Madam Fatima D. Buen, SESO 6. May we give her a virtual applause.
Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. These words of Charles Swindoll, a Christian pastor and author, reminds us that life is what we make it, that no matter how difficult our situation is, it all depends on how we deal with it to make things work. To the school administration, to the faculty and staff, parents, dear graduates, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful day to everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this momentous occasion, the first ever virtual graduation exercises for senior high school batch 2021. My warmest congratulations to our graduating students. At last, after 12 long years of burning your midnight candles, you have finally reached the end of your basic education journey, which is full of sacrifices and challenges, especially so that your batch has experienced the most trying time of our life because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Today is a fitting occasion to recognize all your efforts for taking an extra mile to complete your basic education despite the global health crisis. Your graduation is another milestone that will usher you to the next episode of your life. Our graduation theme this year, Strengthening the Quality of Education Amid the COVID-19 Pandemic, is very relevant. The fact that we are confronted with so many problems and difficulties under the new normal. I understand how hard it was for schools to cope with the new situation, to continue educating our students amid the pandemic. I remember we were all groping in the dark during the start of the school year because we were not used to blended learning modality. But as the saying goes, if there's a will, there's a way. Hence, as time passed by, we learned to adjust and become more flexible. Thanks to our teachers and parents who worked collaboratively for the sake of our school children. We also thank our stakeholders for their unrelenting support. We are grateful to the school management for providing all the resources to keep things in place. My dear students, we have high hopes in you. Fear not to face the future ahead of you because there are a lot of opportunities out there. The COVID-19 virus will just pass. Just like in the past, when the Spanish flu and the bubonic plague affected the world. You just have to patiently and persistently look for better chances for you to grow. With patience and determination, you can always find your place under the sun. Just keep on putting your best foot forward and you shall not fail. As what Charles Swindoll said, we are all faced with a series of great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. Yes, dear students, we may be under the new normal, but this will not hinder us from making our dreams come true. Out of the difficult situations we are in, there are wonderful opportunities waiting to be discovered and explored. The pandemic may be a blessing in disguise for us to become more innovative and creative in doing things. At this juncture, let us acknowledge all those people behind your success. To the proud parents, our deepest thanks and congratulations to all of you. As a parent myself, I know how much sacrifice you had just to provide the needs of your children. To the faculty and staff of Osmeña Colleges Incorporated, thank you so much for your untiring effort and support. Thank you for bringing out the best in your students. To inspire you more in this special occasion, let me share with you one formula for success which can somehow help you as you continue your journey in life. This formula was taken from the book A Passion for Success by Kazuo Inamori, a Japanese writer and philosopher. This formula has something to do with three important variables: ability, effort, and attitude. According to Inamori, ability plus effort plus attitude equals success. Personally, I agree with the author because I have tried the same formula and have proven to be very effective. In fact, this formula has led me to where I am now. Indeed, having the ability alone does not guarantee one's success. You have to couple it with a lot of effort and the right attitude and values. I know of many people who failed in their lives because they missed one of these three variables I mentioned. Some possess the ability and exert their effort, yet they lack the right attitude necessary to make them stand out. Others have the attitude and the ability to do things, but they do not exert so much effort to succeed in what they do. Some exert so much effort but do not have the ability to accomplish things as expected, or they do not possess the qualifications to fit for the position they want. Therefore, dear students, if you really want to succeed in life, try to consider the formula of Inamori. Ability plus effort plus attitude equals success. To each and everyone, congratulations, good luck, and God bless. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Secretary of the Department of Education, Honorable Leonor Magtolis Briones, and upon the certification of your school head that you have satisfactorily completed the requirements of K-12 curriculum, junior high school level, I now confirm you completers. Congratulations. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Secretary of the Department of Education, Honorable Leonor Magtolis Briones, and upon the certification of your school head that you have satisfactorily completed the requirements of the K-12 curriculum, senior high school level, I now confirm you graduates.
Thank you, ma'am, for your heartwarming message. Congratulations, graduates.
For this next part of the program, let us have Ma'am Giselle T. Ruda to give us the introduction of our guest speaker.
To our distinguished guests, to the proud parents, to our completers and graduates, ladies and gentlemen, a marvelous afternoon to all of you. Today, I have been given this great opportunity to introduce to all of you our guest speaker. Our guest speaker for today is also a product of our beloved school. He was born and raised in Barangay Bayombon, Masbate City. Mr. Aljan Beltran Nerza was born on October 21, 1998. He is the second son of Juan Cortez Nerza and Alma Beltran Nerza. He would describe his childhood days as fulfilling. Fulfilling because he never thought he would be in this very stage, not as a student, but as a guest speaker. Growing up, Sir Aljan also went through the same struggles and experiences you had experienced as a student. He thought he would never graduate because of financial difficulties. But that does not stop him in fulfilling his calling, and that is to become a teacher. He graduated in high school as their class valedictorian in March 2017. A lot of fresh graduates in high school are still in dilemma on what college degree they want to pursue, but never our guest speaker. By the time he graduated in high school, he already knew that teaching is his calling. So, he took up Bachelor of Secondary Education major in mathematics at Liceo de Masbate colleges. For him, he was inspired by his high school teachers here in Bayombon to also become a teacher. After graduating in college, he took up the licensure examination for teachers and he passed the exams with a high rating. For he loves his alma mater so much, Sir Aljan rendered his service here as a substitute teacher from January until March of 2021. Sir Aljan is an example of excellency, of hard work and perseverance. Today, we are honored to have him as our guest speaker and to hear his words of wisdom as he relays his message to the graduates. May we lend our ears and put his words in our hearts. Everyone, join me in welcoming the man of our guest speaker, Sir Aljan Beltran Nerza. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Ms. Giselle Ruda, for the kind introduction and for inviting me to speak today. To our school head, Mr. Abunjo A. de la Peña, Honorable Ryan M. Corcuera, to the school teaching and non-teaching staffs, to the parents, completers, and especially graduates. Good afternoon. It is my very honor and pleasure to have a chance to talk with you and share my experiences and the hardships I have undergone before reaching this milestone, and so are you. Congratulations, graduates, for reaching this far. It is your special day, kaya mag-ingay. I know your parents and grandparents are proud of you and your achievements too. Some of you may know me because I went to the same school as you are, which is my beloved alma mater, the Bayombon High School. But before I was invited to speak here, I was shocked and excited at the same time. And then I asked myself, why me? Naano kaya ako? Marami namang iba na more successful than me, but I am jobless, I am definitely moneyless, and tambay for the meantime, of course. Usually washing the dishes at home, listening to K-pop and Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande's music, etc. Nag-share ng memes sa Facebook. Binge-watching YouTube shows and TV shows because obviously I cannot afford money for Netflix. Kasi for the same reason, which is wala akong pera. But I come to realize that the true essence of being successful is not about having lots of money in your wallet, in your pocket, mostly in your bank account, but it is about reaching your wanted goals in life and making yourself an inspiration to others and making a big difference. Sure, may sasalungat sa opinion ko like, you can call yourself successful if you don't have money or financial stability. Of course, I want to be rich too. But can you call it success if it is based on luck only? No. I can't call myself successful enough kasi hindi ko pa nararating ang dapat kong marating at maabot, which is obviously pagiging teacher ko, math teacher. But it's okay. I'm taking slow steps and I'm usually not rushing. Ayokong ma-stress. Haggard na nga in the present, di ba? My time will come. Your time will come. Remember that always. Natatandaan ko pa nung first year, actually, it is a tough year for not only because I will be facing new experiences alone, but because I have to come to school alone. Oo I'm a shy and timid human being at that time. And every enrollment and first day of school, dapat kasama ko si mama. But the reason why she can't come because she had to provide for the family. She had to go and work away from us to give us what we need. Since apat pa kaming pinapag-aral nung time na yon. I was taken care of by my grandparents that time. And they taught me how to do every chores and simple living. Kaya nagpapasalamat ako sa kanila. Kaya nga nung nag-top 1 ako sa klase, tatawagan ko si mama from Manila kasi doon siya nagtatrabaho. Bago ko pa sabihin na top 1 ako, nag-iiyakan na kaming dalawa. Sasabihin niya na kung sana andyan ako para masuportahan ka at may pagmalaki ko rin siya dahil sa mga naging achievements ko. Other struggles I had to go through while high schooling is my illness, which is asthma. Opo, hapoon ako. Naalala ko pa may usad ako na tiyaon, napapasanon ako hali sa bukid para lang makabut ako ng high school kad may excuse ako sa klase ko. I have many struggles na napagdaanan before kumaabot ko na ako sugad. Those struggles shaped me to be the person I wanted to be. Failures are not the opposite of success, but it is a part of it. Kaya damdamo ko na pasalamat sa mga tao na dili ako sinukuan, kad naging kaagapay ko as I face the harsh reality and, of course, success. Thank you, Mapa, for the unwavering support, for be it emotionally and financially. Salamat sa love and sacrifices niyo for me. Sa mga teachers ko, for sharing your knowledge and wisdom and for believing in my potentials. Sa batchmates ko na friends ko din, hello sa inyo. I miss you. And thank you for the friendship. Sa relatives ko, especially sa yumao kong grandparents, thank you, La, for teaching me that I need to work for my dreams the hard way. And lastly, to God, for the guidance and spiritual presence He gave to me. Dear graduates, alam kong this pandemic really took a toll on your education and mental health. Kabi-kabilang modules dito, modules doon. Projects, thesis, Diyos ko. Kaya nga you'll be asking yourselves, wala man ako natutunan sani. Mas maayo gyapon pag face-to-face. Bakit nung face-to-face? May natutunan ka ba? Charot. You're dead wrong. This new normal education taught you the power of patience and perseverance. Just look on the bright side. You managed to study for yourself and learn things not the traditional way. You made researches and you have time to focus on more important things. Look at you. You did it all. You managed to do the impossible. Despite the struggles of the new normal, you managed to overcome them and do the unthinkable. And you should be proud of yourselves. Magka-college na kayo. It's an all-new beginning for you. And there's new paths and new battles that you have to conquer. Kaya, fighting. Dear graduates, remember that you are free to choose what career you want to focus and you are passionate about. Let it mold you to become successful and be an inspiration to others. Never let anyone dictate what you wanted to do and what you wanted to be. If you found your calling, never let go of it. Kasi ako, I found mine. Success will come to those who believed in the beauty of their dreams. A famous quote says. So this is Aljan Binerza, your guest speaker for today, a professional teacher. Thank you for listening, and I wish you the best of luck. Happy graduation.
Thank you very much, Sir Aljan Nersa, for the very inspiring and insightful messages you imparted this afternoon. Your words will surely guide our graduates as they tread a new path in their lives. May your messages motivate them to strive harder.
Today, you will be witnessing the awarding of certificates and diplomas to our completers and graduates. Let us do the honor to present to you the awards.
Rest assured, upon taking videos of the distribution of certificates and diploma, the prescribed guidelines and health protocols by the IATF have been strictly observed and implemented. Thank you. Presenting the completers for the school year 2020 to 2021. Grade 10, Athena.
Alcalde Raymark B.
Cristobal John Patrick M.
Nanon E.G. P.
The now Ren Russell Josh F.
Nunez Mark John B.
Pangilinan Aldrin M.
Serrano Gemar P.
Talingting Rodel M.
Aquinong Ethel C.
Andaya Aname O.
Andaya Brenda Nicole P.
Apalit Annalyn S.
Bakar Jerica E.
Burse Trisha May B.
Antiga Jeneline R.
De Los Santos Nika R.
Perolino Rizamay B.
Francisco Jessa E.
Francisco Maryjoy M.
Gonzaga Anime B.
Ibaya Maria Flor C.
Ledesma Rufami O.
Maglente Marinette D.
Manguardia LV B.
Pablo Catalin R.
Ramos Ronaldin May M.
Rapsing Ricamay R.
Romano Rayan O.
Rojas Joanna Marie M.
Rojas Mary Rose B.
Torres Daniel C.
Torres Princess R.
Tobieron Eldona D. Grade 10 Sus.
Andaya Raymart G.
Antipolo Jobel G.
Celebre Ray L.
Cinco Mark James B.
Cos Christian B.
Boss John Willie B.
Flores Giancarlo S.
Floriani Noidon S.
Gomez Mark Daniel P.
Gomez Ruel N.
Gonzaga Marvin B. Malunes Dave M.
Manlapas Ivan M.
Manlapas Christian M.
Martin K. Mark E.
Moscare Bien Russell A. Pablo PJ A.
Rivera Pistan J. E.
Rosero Andrew M.
Bahar Baby Rose M.
Celebre Nerissa M.
Guzman Michelle M. Olivia Monica G.
Rosero Sherlyn May.
Rojas Judy Ann A.
Rojas Mila D.
Presenting the graduates of Agri-Fishery Arts for the school year 2020-2021.
Cos Gerald A.
Delanon Eric T. De La Peña Jefferson.
De Llamas John D. S.
Francisco Justin R.
Francisco Duvel R.
Huertas Melchor M.
Lepios Miguel B.
Martin Raymark E.
Martin Ronmark B.
Pangilinan Arnel Jr. M.
Rivera Aaron Derrick A.
Rosero Julius M.
Bakar Donary.
Bakar Jesseline D. with honors.
Pantilio Angeline R.
5. Lourdes Isabel L.
Cortez Bernadette R. with honors.
Cos Norvel R. with honors.
Cristobal Marjorie M.
De Guzman Rose Ann M.
De Los Santos Nikki R.
Dikilia Agnes O.
Francisco Giselle M. with honors.
Huertas Marlene A.
Malunes Arjen A.
Malunes Cecil M.
Malunes Mary Rose M.
Malunes Reneline A.
Manguardia Cheche A.
Manlapas Regine P.
Nunez Mayan B.
Pangilinan Daisy O.
Romano Remadel O.
Serrano Gemma P.
Serrano Gina A.
Tobiron Stesike D.
Villamor Matea M. Now, let us all hear the pledge of loyalty of the graduates, to be led by Norvel Cos.
I, Norvel Rapsing Cos, solemnly pledge that as a graduate of Bayombon High School, I shall strive to live up to the standard of excellence of my alma mater, to elevate the mind and strengthen character, and to be always on the side of the law, freedom, and justice for the service of God, country, and mankind.
Thank you, dear graduates.
To give us the school head address and acknowledgement, may we call in Sir Abunjo A. De La Peña, School Head of Bayombon High School.
To our stakeholders of Bayombon High School, this pandemic school year 2020-2021, our school achieved 69 completers in the junior high school and 38 graduated in the senior high school through modular approach. Silang nagtamasa sa maayos na pamamalakad sa paaralang ito. Bilang patunay, mula noong nailoklok ako na pinuno sa paaralang ito, sila ay walang binayarang ni isang piso or nagpatupad kami ng zero school collection policy. Sa panahon ng pandemya, lalong inayos natin ang mga pasilidad ng paaralan gamit ang Maintenance and Other Operating Expenses or MOE. Sa pamagitan ng BALCB, nagawa natin ang 1:1 ratio ng module or SLMs, last and answer sheets. Nagdagdag din tayo ng kawani gamit ang job order. At patuloy natin inaayos ang pasilidad ng paaralan gamit ang tipak na salapi mula sa MOE. To the proud parents, salamat gayud, sindamo-damo, sa walang sawa na pagkuha kag pag-uli sa modules. Kag sa pagbulig sa mga pagtukdo para makaaram sindamintras kita na sa panahon sa pandemya. Mga ginikanan, ipadayo niyo ang pagbulig sa iyong mga anak para mauswag na bastamlag. Kung wara kamo, wara ang Bayombon High School. Sa mga kapwa ko guro, salamat sa walang sawa na pag-imprenta sa mga modules, SLMs, answer sheet, kag last. Salamat din sa pagtalima sa mga pulisiya na ipinatutupad para makaiwas sa sakit dulot ng pandemya. Salamat din sa isinagawa natin na palatuntunan ito sa tulong ninyong lahat. Sana patuloy din ninyong isagawa ang mga gawain para sa hinaharap. Tapos puso ko din pinapaabot sa SDO, Masbate City, lalo na sa tagapamanihala, Madam Fatima Dibuen, at sa pangalawang tagapamanihala na si Ginoong Arvin DCC, kay Sir Long Logroño, at kay Sir Renato Rubio, at lalo na kay Madam Francie Baldimoro. Salamat sa mga tulong sa pagbabago sa mga estratehiya at pamamaraan susog sa pulisiya na pinatutupod para makamtan ng mga batang completers at nangagsitapos sa taong ito. Tapos puso ko din pinapaabot sa barangay ng Bayombon sa pamuno ni kagalang-galang Kapitan Ryan Corcuera ang magandang ugnayan at mga tulong mula sa inyo. Salamat din sa pamahalang lungsod ng Masbate sa pamuno ng ating kagalang-galang na mayor na si Ginang Rowena Tuason at sa kanyang mga kasamahan. Sa mga tulong na ibinigay ng pamahalang lungsod ng Masbate. Salamat din sa Diocese ng Masbate sa pamumuno ni Bishop Jose Bantolo sa pagbibigay tulong pagkain para may sagawa ang school-based feeding program para sa naghihikaos na mamamayan ng Bayombon at Mapinya. Salamat din sa grupo mula sa Spirit M para sa tulong na maisagawa ng maayos ang virtual at moving up graduation rights na ito. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Salamat.
Thank you, sir, for giving us such a heartfelt message.
At this juncture, shall we watch the graduates and completers through a video presentation of their graduation and completion song.
People laugh as they stare at you and say she's got nowhere to go. But if they only know you're thinking, where did I go wrong? How should I move on in spite of what I see? They're losing faith in me. You tell yourself you believe that in every feat it takes a heart to endure all the pain and grief, having the hope to see the best that you can be. Follow your dream, the courage found within. Your soul is keeping you so strong that you could rise each time you fall and stand up on your own. This time you won't go wrong. Just give your best to hold your will, persistently become the one you've always aimed to be. Got to find your place where you'll proudly face the woes that come your way. Sometimes it's hard to say if you can stick to your desire. Never lose the fire that burns up light inside. For you to win the fight, you tell yourself to achieve, you must not retreat. Persist this task and be tough if you must compete. Learning the path of fate by every road you take. Follow your dream, the courage found within. Your soul is keeping you so strong that you could rise each time you fall and stand up on your own. This time you won't go wrong. Just give your best to hold your will, persistently become the one
Wow! I am sure that you also have been touched upon viewing the memories these graduates had made together for the past 5 years of their stay here at Bayombon High School.
Congratulations, graduates, completers, and to your proud parents. Go forth, grow, and be successful. Anatole France once said, "To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but also believe."
This has been your Masters of Ceremony. I am Rona Tamayo.
And I am Glendale Calvario saying,
Congratulations to the graduates and the proud parents. Enjoy the rest of the days, but don't forget to stay safe always.
Follow your dream, the courage found within. Your soul is keeping you so strong that you could rise each time you fall and stand up on your own. This time you won't go wrong. Just give your best to hold your will. Persistently become the one you've always aimed to be.